Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Duggar News. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Counting on alum. Jinger Duggar Vuolo recently made headlines after participating in the latest episode of the Unplanned podcast with Matt and Abby. The 30-year-old mom made some shocking claims about her parents and the IBLP. Some of them were about their shocking superstitions and comments about adoption. But Jinger surprised many fans after opening up about her struggles to have kids due to her upbringing. Keep reading to see her shocking statements. One of Jinger's revelations during the podcast was about her family's superstition. According to the Counting on alum, the IBLP taught them that not obeying parents would lead to horrifying consequences such as car crashes. Things could also get worse if they continue to disobey. However, some Reddit users think it's just an example of Bill Gothard's twisted teachings. During the same podcast, Jinger opened up about her struggles to have kids. According to the former Counting on star, she was never the type of child who wanted to babysit nephews and nieces before adding that she wanted to have kids, but not as many as some would think. I wanted to have kids. I was just really afraid of the thought of having as many as possible, she added. Jinger Duggar Vuolo later mentioned that Bill Gothard taught families to have as many kids as possible, and she thought that it was going to be her destiny as well. Once I realized that I don't need to have as many kids as possible, I felt a massive weight off of my shoulders, she added. Jinger Duggar Vuolo also shared some of her reasons as to why she didn't want to have many kids. According to Jeremy's wife, she saw many moms in such settings who were so beat down. The Counting on alum added that they were having child after child to the point that they were always on bed rest. They were so sick, the younger siblings were having to take care of the other kids for the 9 months that the mom was sick. She explained before confessing, "I was so afraid to think about that." If you are looking for more Duggar family news, Jinger Duggar Vuolo sat in her sunlit living room, her hands cradling a warm cup of tea. The house was quiet, a rare occurrence since she had become a mother. Her 2 daughters, Felicity and Evangeline, were at the park with their father, Jeremy. It was a moment of peace, but also one filled with contemplation. Jinger's mind drifted back to her own childhood. Growing up in the Duggar family was an experience unlike any other. With 18 siblings, her house was always bustling with activity, noise, and a sense of togetherness. Her parents, Jim, Bob, and Michelle, were devoutly religious and followed the teachings of the Quiverful movement, which encouraged large families. For them, having children was a divine commandment, a blessing that they embraced wholeheartedly. As a child, Jinger never questioned this way of life. She loved her siblings and the camaraderie they shared. The older children helped care for the younger ones, creating a dynamic of mutual support and responsibility. But as she grew older, doubts began to creep into her mind. She started to wonder if the life she had been taught to aspire to was truly what she wanted for herself. Meeting Jeremy changed everything. He was different from anyone she had known, with a broader view of the world and a deep, thoughtful approach to faith. They fell in love quickly, and their courtship, like all Duggar courtships, was a public affair. But once they were married, Jinger began to experience a freedom she had never known before. Moving to Los Angeles with Jeremy allowed her to explore her own beliefs and desires away from the constant scrutiny of her family. It was in Los Angeles that Jinger first confronted the complexities of her upbringing. The expectation to have many children was deeply ingrained in her, but the reality of motherhood was far more challenging than she had anticipated. Felicity's birth was a joyous occasion, but it also brought with it sleepless nights, postpartum depression, and a deep sense of inadequacy. Jinger felt overwhelmed by the demands of being a mother, and the pressure to quickly have more children only intensified her struggles. Jeremy was supportive, encouraging her to take things one day at a time. He reminded her that their family was their own, and they didn't have to follow anyone else's rules. Yet the guilt lingered. Jinger felt as though she was failing not just herself, but her entire family and the expectations they had placed upon her. One afternoon, as Jinger sat alone, she received a call from her sister Jessa. They chatted about their children and the usual family updates. Jessa, always perceptive, sensed something was wrong. Ginge, are you okay? You sound off.